Hey everybody, this is Raul for Bass Musician Magazine, and today we have the great honor and location of being on location in an overcast, what else is new, Portland, Oregon, with bassist Tim Lefebvre. So Tim, it's great to be here. We're looking forward today. You are playing here with Tedeshi Trucks.
That's correct.
And we are very excited to see the show and check out the music. The last time Tedeshi Trucks was in town, Otila was playing. And so
right?
it had been a little...
No, I've done one show here before.
Okay, so we had caught one show with him, but
right. So that was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was an older one.
Right.
Yeah. So we might have missed one, but
that's okay.
It's great
Happens.
to have you here. For those of you that are paying attention, we've been kind of like Tim stalkers in that we've been following a lot of what he's been doing, except for we missed that one Tedeshi Truck show when he was in town. But he was on our cover in 2013.
Thank you for that.
Our pleasure. And this year, and the Bowie project in 2015.
Right.
And then this year alone, we had had bits on Whose Hat Is This?
Right, correct.
And the Live from the Fox Oakland CD. So you're a busy guy.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked, as they say.
So with that, if you want to catch up and look at that splendid interview that Steve Gregory did back in 2013, we'll make sure we add those links. But let's talk a little bit about you here and now and the future. Tell us a little bit about this tour.
So far this is probably tour 6 or 7 this year for this band. Yeah, we're on tour a lot. We've been spacing it out a little bit more, but of course, due to my nature, just wanting to work all the time. I've been, except for August, every in between slot, I've been playing with either Donnie McCaslin or Mark Juliana and I started a duo project. I have this project with a couple of guys in the band called Whose Hat Is This? Mm-hmm. I've just been filling up. I've been back and forth to New York a bunch, and I'm producing my girlfriend's record, Rachel Eckroth. So that's actually most of the time taker-uppers right now, because when I'm home, we've been sort of pretty focused on that. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's gonna have some Bowie alumni on it. It's going to be cool, yeah.
Well, it's kind of one of the characteristics. I know that we talk to a lot of people, and they're extraordinarily busy, and they're juggling a whole bunch of projects and things. It's just never, it kind of like sharks. It's a perpetual motion. This is ongoing and doing stuff.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to crash and burn soon. Next year I'll have a break.
I don't know.
I'm actually going to take a break next year.
We talk to a lot of musicians, and especially like you have like Lee Sklar, who's 70 and still touring, and stuff like that. Incredible. You're kind of going, wow, yeah, I'm blown away.
Yeah, no, I mean, once you get the bug, you just go, and if you're actually not available or if you're not healthy or something like that, that's the only time it makes sense to say no, honestly.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how I operate, and me and 1,000 other guys like Lee and Will Lee, these guys are always going.
Totally.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about the music in the tour. I know it's probably continuing kind of closely to what we saw live at the Fox.
Yeah, we're playing a bunch of those songs still, because they're staples, and they're good vehicles for improvisation for the band. So they kind of, they're reaching different spots sometimes, and it's kind of cool to see what kind of. It's always, it's got a shape to it that's always similar, but at the same time, we're always kind of doing different stuff to it, and there's little new peaks and valleys, and everybody in this band is a really great musician and great improvisers. So, it's exciting every night to get on stage and then make it, try to make something happen. It's really pretty awesome, and Derek's totally open to it, and it's great. And at the same time, we're playing these really good songs. It's still song based band. You know what I mean? So, but it's just. I guess it's kind of out of the Allman Brothers thing where it's like, okay, the cool song, and now it's jam for a while.
Very nice.
Cool, which the audience loves. So, and if anything, people are responding to it. Our audiences are just growing, which is cool. So,
very nice.
Good to see.
Now, interestingly enough, if I remember correctly, you play with 2 drum sets.
Yes, that's right.
So how, again, because the bass ties in with drum a lot, how do you make that work?
Well, to me, it feels. I mean, it's not unfamiliar because I played so much with Keith Garlock with Wayne Krantz. It's kind of the same kind of when they get into rolling out grooves. It's sort of it's to me it's similar to what I was doing with Keith and Wayne. It wasn't just one 1, 2, 3, 4 backbeat on 2 and 4. It's like orchestrated around the kit. So that's what it kind of sounds like to me. And so I know how to weasel in and out of that stuff. Like, you know, it's actually what I have to do is put the brakes on. Like, I can't go full bore like I would go with Keith.
Gotcha.
Because it's too big of it's too much organizing to go on. You know, like there's a lot of people.
A lot of moving parts.
Well, right.
There.
It's like cattle herding.
Yeah.
with great cattle. I guess that's right. No, but you know, in other words, like you got to keep it a little simpler.
Yeah.
But you can still get rhythmically interesting and you know, so it's a lot of fun.
Very
it's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
And since we're talking about bass, it's always a good moment to mention gear. What are you using to get your voice for this tour?
This usually, you know, I'm using my Moulin 57P copy, which is cool. I love this bass. Everything Moulin makes is pretty awesome. It's this is especially cool because it's like the Sting bass, but just less beat up. And I've seen that he's starting to sell a few of these. So there's this one. I have a 63P.
Nice.
You know, all with flat wounds. Recently, like the last tour, I had a Sarek Midwestern, which is a short scale bass with like a Guild Starfire pickup in it, which I really love. That's like my favorite bass right now. Just because it's like new and fresh and super easy to play.
Nice.
This is a great bass. The Fenders, you know, they're just, it's not short scale, so it's like, you know, it's a little more work. I'm getting lazy in my old age. So I'm playing through Ampeg SVT,
Nice.
a late 70s SVT. And I have the CLs, you know, like I think it's an HLF 4x10. I used to have a 8x10, but we kind of cut it back so I can reduce kind of the low end on stage. And then also, so in you know, hand in hand with that, I'm standing on a Tech Amp USA Enter Square, which is kind of a vibrating platform.
So you can feel the...
Yeah, it's kind of fool yourself into feeling subs. So, well, it's good. I mean, you know, because I roll some off to give the sound man a chance to put it in the house and stuff like that. And so that, and then I'm using the bunch of pedals. I'm using 3-leaf audio Octaver, which is like my signature pedal at the Sky Spencer Dorman.
It has a unique spelling.
Yeah, it's OCTABVRE.
There's all these extra letters.
You know, I know it's the crazy part of having a weird last name. I'm using 2 MXR delays, the Echoplex and the Carbon Copy Bright, which I love. It's great because sometimes we do drones in the band, so like it's really lays a nice carpet down of like kind of endless, you know, kind of weird floaty delays.
Nice.
And then I have the Amp Tweaker bass type fuzz, which is awesome fuzz. It's very Larry Graham. I have the Analog Alien bass station. I just got a new compressor actually from Miura. This guy from LA. He's actually a bass maker, but he's making this really kind of high end compressor. So I've been using a compressor on the end of my chain. It's cool because I'm using it sort of as a little bit of a boost. So when I'm playing and it's getting really loud, I kick it on and then I have something else there too, don't I? No, maybe that's it. TC Electronic Tuner.
Very cool.
Yeah, MXR. I mean, Jim Dunlop flats. I have some DR flats on other bass too. But yeah, mostly that's what's going on. And the Noble DI.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's always great.
Very good. And I always make sure we ask because we were covering one of the JT's Bass Jam in Anaheim last year.
Cool.
And we were live streaming it, and somebody was like, "What pedals does he have?" And I'm like, "I can't get up and find out what pedals does he have right now, you know."
You could.
Let me go push him out of the way and look.
Right.
But, you know, but it's great that we can get this insight without having
to totally. I'm always happy to, and I just did a pedal thing for this. I was just in Dublin with Donnie McCaslin's band.
Nice.
And so we just shot a video of because I'm using a totally separate rig when I do like kind of the electronic leaning stuff. So I just shot a video for this Music Maker thing, and it's like I was explaining all that stuff. That's a little more, you know, I've got a whole different world on that front because it's all. With not all effects, but it's quite a bit of effects, you know.
Yeah.
It's like synth. It's kind of. That's where I put my synth hat on. You know, I think more like a synth player than an R&B bass player. That's what I do here. You know.
Well, it is pushing the envelope and the changing of the sound.
Yeah.
And,
totally.
Whether you're adding in a MIDI processor,
right.
We were fortunate enough to listen to Victor Wooten playing here just last month, and he's got a thing that's converted his bass to a MIDI. Owen
Biddle's doing that too. Zach Danziger, who's one of my best friends and one of the greatest drummers in the world. He's got a project with Owen Biddle. You know Owen Biddle, right? He used to play. Anyway, Owen's triggering MIDI, and Zach is. They're both. It's like kind of an interactive MIDI thing where like it's you know, they're both running Ableton Live, and there's also video clips, and Owen's triggering chords, and it's incredible what's going on. It's like completely random improvising via MIDI. It's like next level stuff. I don't know.
The sound fidelity is pretty amazing because
Yeah.
we're there and we would have sworn that you're looking for the B3 Hammond.
Yeah.
And it's Victor
Yeah.
on his bass. You're
That stuff's gotten a lot better over
yeah.
the years. Yeah, it's totally gotten a lot better. The
Gotcha.
tracking on the stuff. I mean, even pedal wise, like all these boutique guys are making pedals. That I just got this Banana Effects. He's a Japanese guy who makes it's like a little yellow pedal. And it's honestly, it's like the synth. It's an incredible pedal. It's like a bass synth, and literally, it sounds like synth. And
In
like,
a tiny little package.
in a tiny little box, and like it's all malleable. It's just it's nuts. I mean, what these guys are coming up with.
Yeah, better living through solid state
Yeah,
electronics.
I mean,
right?
earthquaker devices is always blowing people's minds. It's just
There
like
you go.
wow, like who thinks of this stuff?
Well, we've gone down the rabbit hole of gear. Maybe we should talk a little bit about future projects. I know you've got some stuff coming down the pike.
Yeah, quite a few things. Let me think. I've got a record in the can. Well, records that are coming out. I mean, I just played on Matt Cameron's record, the guy, the drummer from Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. Great dude, great record, really fun. That was a direct David Bowie. He heard Black Star and hired me and Mark and Juliana.
Nice.
And so that was fun. I played on Emily Salyer's new record. She's one of the Indigo girls. It's cool. That's a super creative record. She's on tour with it now. I have a record in the can with Gary Novak and this MC from Washington, D.C. named Kokai. I don't know when that's going to come out, but we're working on it.
Gotcha.
Have a tour coming up. Well, we have this tour, the West Coast tour with Tedeshi Trucks that ends November 19th. Mostly it's, we're here tonight in Portland, tomorrow Seattle, next week's a bunch of stuff ending, and we're winding up in Oakland. And then go home for a week or so, and then I start, we play Boston with Tedeshi Trucks, and then we do Whose Hat Is This in New York, Philly, Baltimore, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charleston, just kind of down the coast to Atlanta.
Gotcha.
So yeah, those dates are all out there on my socials. And
So it raises the good point. Where's the best place for people to look for information to find out where you're going to be? I'm sure Tedeshi Trucks has got their own
exactly.
site.
Yeah, there's always a link to this Tedeshi. I think it's TedeshiTrucksBand.com/tour. So that's where you'll that's most of my time I'm out with them. But
Sure.
and then the off season, as I call it, my website is
the in between.
the off season. Either my social media. So I'm at Tim Lefebvre at Instagram, which I always post about, and I have a Facebook fan page, website. It's timlefebvremusic.com.
Gotcha.
What else? This who'shatisthis.com for the Who's Hat Is This. I'm reachable.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you taking some time, and we know we're catching Tim right after sound check and before they go on. So we're looking forward to seeing the show. We're excited about it.
It's going to be good.
Make sure that you look onto the websites, and I'll see if I can't pull them up and make sure that they're added into the video so people can start searching.
Yep.
And check them out. We already did a shout out to the people in Portland that if
That's
they
right.
didn't know you were going to be here,
Right.
they need to come down.
That's right.
And there still may be seating available at
Yep.
the Keller Auditorium.
Yeah.
So make sure you come check out. Well, Tim, again, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. We have come out on location to bring you the latest and the greatest in the world of bass. Tim Lefebvre, coming to you, Bass Musician Magazine.